whakarongo ki te tangi a te korimako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira whakarongo pi kari mai. Hare mai, o Taringa hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani move that body. Kani move that body.
E te hākerekere, e te makiu tēnei te whakarake i ngā whakamānawa. Nā mihi i runga i ngā hau, e pupuhi mai nei, e pupuhi atu nei. Anei a tāwhiri mātea, e mahi nei i tāna mahi. Anei a taringa, e mahi nei mātou i tā mātou mahi. Hei oranga mō ngā tikanga, hei oranga mō te reo o tira. Kia whai mātauranga rā koutou e te iwi nui tonu kua piri mai kia mātou i tēnei wā e mihi atu nei. Nau mai hoki mai ki te punua pāho o Taringa. Coming at you in level 3 from our homes in the bustling metropolis of Taumatu me te taone iti o Kirikiriroa.
Tēnā pōhehe, tēnā.
From the bustling taumata ohiti to a toru.
To a toru point rua.
Yeah.
Interesting times. Hoi anō. There's lots of interesting things you can read about that on the any news site at the moment. So, anei ke a Taringa, e mihi nei kia koutou, i raro hoki i ngā manaakitanga a te wānanga o te aroa. And also a shout out to our kaitautoko.
Kia ora.
Ki te māngai pāho me irirangi te motu.
Irirangi te motu, tēnā koutou. Koutou katoa.
Kia ora e hoa mā, e pewhi ana kōrua?
Ai, ke te tino ora ahau, engari kei anini tōku māhunga.
Oh, kei te anini tō māhunga.
Ai, but me mahi tonu, kei te pai.
Yeah.
He aha i anini ai?
Tērā pē he anini ai, nā te mea kei te hia wai Māori, maybe. I don't know.
Ka pai, yeah.
Hia inu nou I anini ai koe.
Maybe. Or maybe I just stayed up too late.
Yeah, and so e te wī, so before we went on, she goes, oh, I've got a sore head. I'm going to buy some shampoo.
No.
Hea tera te rongoa, he rongoa hoko, retail therapy.
You could say that. Yes, I do a lot of retail therapy. Sometimes packages turn up and I can't even remember when I bought it.
Ko tātou katoa tērā, nā tātou ngā couriers I whaihua ai.
Me taku mihi kia koutou e te hunga e ngā kūrira.
Ai.
Tēnā rā koutou e heke nei o koutou wera mō mātou te hunga e tono nei.
Ai.
Anei I ngā mea ko hoko nei mātou, pēnei a Erika nei. Nō reira, tēnā koutou. Hoi anō, we have a courier of mātauranga coming to you through the airwaves of Te Ipurangi, e te whānei, nau mai hoki mai. And if this is your first time that you've joined us on Taringa, where have you been? I whiake koe. Hoi anō, nau mai.
No mai. It's lovely to meet you.
Ai, tēnā koutou. Nō reira, kia huri tātou ki te kiwaha.
He aha tā tātou kiwaha e snow?
Tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
Oh.
Tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
Tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
Pai.
So what a load of hogwash.
Yeah.
Hogwash.
Hogwash, what a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, so those people that hari kōrero, and they go, oh, did you hear so-and-so's got something's wrong with them? And you're like, tēnā pōhehe tēnā. Koe kōrero pērā.
Ai.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's sharing something that they found in a rabbit hole on social media lately.
Yep.
And you can say, oh, tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
Or so when someone posts on social media that they just done a 10K run, but you know, and he ran 3Ks at the most, tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
Tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
Tika. Hey, and the cool thing about this kiwaha, and I know it might be e paku kotiti tēnei, but you can swap out the pōhehe, and you can even, you could use kōrero. So if somebody said something that's questionable, you know, the validity of the kōrero or e he ana te kōrero, it's not anywhere near correct. Again, you know, tēnā kōrero tēnā.
Tēnā kōrero tēnā.
Tēnā kōrero tēnā. I love it.
What I get a lot, of what I've received a lot.
Tēnā
is when-
pōrangi.
Ētahi, I don't know if it's pēnei he ui makihui. Yeah, so I'll go, oh, how was the kai or something, and I'll get the tērā pātai tērā. What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, I reira hoki koe. I rangona e koe te kai. Tērā pātai tērā.
Ana. Nō reira pai tēnā ki waha e te iwi. Tēnā pōhehe tēnā. And, you know, I've quoted you lots of times, Erica, and many other, you know, in some of my ako spaces that I work in.
Okay.
Yeah, no, e mihi ana koe e au I tēnei wā, you know, tō kōrero, when we're coming up with a definition, I guess. Not coming up with, expressing the definition of what kiwaha are or is, and you said it's a cool way to say something.
Yep.
Aye.
So this is a cool way of saying that, don't think so.
Because when you try and translate a kiwaha, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. So again, e te iwi, it's a cool way to say something. Again, the tone you deliver the kiwaha in.
Aye.
For instance, this one, you know, tēnā pōhehe tēnā. You know, you wouldn't say it like this. Tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
It's kind of like how I talk.
Yeah, that's if you don't know it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and along with that is the body language. So you can get a sense of this kiwaha from the tone. But ko te kōrero, ko te reo o te tinana, koe nā tētahi wāhanga nui o te reo.
Aye.
Yeah, o te reo kōrero. So, you know, 55% of communication is body language.
Kia ora.
Whoa.
And a lot of that body language, if you break that down into percentages, would be your facials.
Ah.
Me kei te whakamō teko, me kei te rairoa, me kei te, you know, e rāhuatanga katoa. And then tone is 38%, I think. And only, you know, 7% or something like that. You might have to do your maths, ko he pētaku maths. But only like 7% or a small percentage is actually the kupu you use.
Yep. So communication is far wider than verbal.
Ana. So yeah, ko te tangi o te reo e hoa ma, tēnā pōhehe tēnā.
Tēnā pōhehe tēnā. That's why emails get taken out of context.
Oh, yeah.
Ana. Tika. Hoi no e te iwi whakamātauhia tērā kiwaha. And just to close out that kiwaha, on a kiwaha scale, 1 to 5 in terms of difficulty.
Maybe at the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 3 words.
You can switch it up.
Yeah.
Kia ora tātou. Nō reira te iwi, koenei a Tikanga 101. You know, we've come a long way in Tikanga, these Tikanga episodes. Maybe it needs to be like, maybe we're at a level 3 paper now. And I feel some of the, you know, kaupapa we've had a wānanga about our...
Pretty deep topics.
Yeah, you could do
Yeah.
a master's thesis, doctorate. Hoi no, that's us in our humility. Tikanga 101. And koenei te wāhanga tuarua o te whati me te hapa.
Ooh.
Or hapa me te whati. And if you haven't listened to te hapa me te whati, tēnā hoki whakamuri ki te whakarongo ki te mea ruarau mā ono. Episode 206.
206.
And then come back and listen to this one. E pāna ki te hapa me te whati. And we'll be looking at some other contexts, situations where hapa and whati comes up.
Cool.
Ka pai. I tērā mea tuatai I kōrero rāta tau e hoa mā mo te ētai āhuatanga mo te karanga.
Aye.
Aye.
Te hapa I te karanga. Tēnā kia huri tātou I naenei ki te hapa me te whati I roto I te whaikōrero.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
And some of the obvious ones that would come up are being stunted in your delivery of the whaikōrero. Mucking up your tauparapara at the start of your whaikōrero. Perhaps forgetting some names.
Yeah.
And whakapapa or...
Yeah, whether you're coming down a line or what have you. You could miss the name or forget the names of particular maunga or awa. Or I've been in pōwhiri where the pūkōrero has forgotten who the tangata whenua are.
Oh.
These are little ones and they weren't forced errors, okay? They've given the wrong iwi name.
Ooh,
I've been at one, they were meant to say Ngai Tūhoi and for some reason they kept referring to them as Ngāti Tūwhare Toa.
Oh my God, that's a big difference.
Yes, and but they caught themselves maybe halfway through their whaikōrero and then self-corrected.
How would you self-correct that, though?
Good pātai. Puaheiri, hea tō whakautu.
Mena kei au te mōhioranga, ka taki whakapapa kia hono ai ngā iwi, mā reira e tūhoi anō ai. That's one way you could think of it, but kei te koi o te tangata nei, kei te mōhi o te tangata, mena e mōhia nei e kia pēra, kia whai ara anō, kia whakatikaina ai taua hapa. Yeah, you got to find a way to get in there to correct it if you can. Or if not, it's all right to just acknowledge it. I just want to talk on one hapa. It was at an opening at out at Mangatotoa, and I remember one of the kaupapa, he recited some whakapapa, but had forgotten, there were 3 brothers, I believe, and he had forgotten 1 or 2. And then after the waiata, he said, I don't usually do this, however, it was this person and that person, and then finished.
Okay.
Without leaving it hanging.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And I do remember during the waiata, there was a bit of a thing over the shoulder, and he's like, oh, yeah. And then he said the other 2 siblings, but that was another way to do it. And I think it's acknowledging that you don't want to be blind to what you're said, because the response could be from an amicable meeting to, you know, he few. Yeah.
Tika. Yes, I remember that time too, te puaheiri.
Aye, yes.
Yeah, it is the skill of the speaker and experience has a lot to do with how you're able to rectify, acknowledge your hapa, and then make those corrections that you can. And that shows that you're giving respect to the mātauranga. And, you know, you puta i te rātu whakapāhotanga, te mana o te mātauranga, te mana o ngā kōrero tuku iho. Nō reira, whakatikahia te kōrero.
Kia ora. And you know, koina tētahi mea hei whakarotanga mā tātou te hunga e tūtū ana i runga i ngā marae. Kia āta whakarongo ne ki ngā mena ko koutou, ko koe te manuhiri, ka whai wāhi atu koe ki te whakarongo ki te whakatau tuatahi. Ko te tūmanako, mā reira e whakamōhio atu ai ko ai ngā tangata whenua. Ko ai rānei te hunga e whakatau ana i a koe, mā reira e mārama ai. Oh yeah, this is the, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so that's the skill in itself, because I think we can get a bit parroted. There you go, e tiwi, kupuhau. And how we deliver whaikōrero, and so the art goes from expressing what you know and then expanded into actually weaving in what's being talked at that moment. That's the koina te toiroa, that's the whainga. Yeah.
Ana.
Cool.
Then there's some other ones that are still within the realm of whaikōrero. I'm talking about or thinking about seating arrangements on the paipai.
Ooh, kia ora. Hey!
I've seen.
Yeah, so not all iwi follow. Koine te pai ki au te haere ki roto o te taitokero.
Oh, they come from everywhere.
Exactly. The rule is there is no rule as to where you get up. Well, most of the marae I've been on i te taitokero. There isn't a set rule as to the speakers start at this end and then go and finish at this end. E tika ana tērā?
Yeah, ki ētahi marae, koina ngā whakaritenga, koina te tikanga, hei tā ngā kaumātua i ona rā, ka tūpoko noa ngā kai kōrero. Engari kua, i roto i ngā tautata nei e ai ki ētahi, ko whakaritea he taumata, te wāhi e noho ai ngā kai kōrero, kia whai tētahi naha-nahatanga. Yeah.
Tētahi whakaraupapatanga.
Ai, tētahi whakaraupapatanga, ai.
In Tūhoi, they're quite staunch as to where the first speaker on the manuhiri, well, first on the tangata whenua side, but I'm going to speak about the manuhiri side, as to where the manuhiri start and finish. And usually someone, mainly in Ruatoki, the practice in Ruatoki, and tō tātou papa, he will attend the tangihanga and various kaupapa, and he's always out the gate, or the marae will have somebody out there to explain to the manuhiri how te tikanga, how te kawa o te marae.
Pai, tērā.
And koina tētahi o ngā kōrero a taua tangatara, mana tērā kōrero ki ngā manuhiri, ka tīmata ngā whai kōrero ki tērā pito, ka haere tonu, kia tai ki tēnei pito, koia te haika, koia te kaiwhakakapi o ngā kōrero.
That's cool.
He ingoto ia tūranga? Pēnei ia tainu o te paiarahi?
E aua. And even on that, can you make a note of that paiarahi that we can speak about for a little bit? Ka rea mohi ana ki etahi atu kōrero. I've heard te haika, or the anchor,
Ai.
te punga, te kaiwhakakapi.
Alright,
That's an obvious one, so the person that wraps everything up.
makes sense.
Te kōrero whakamutinga. Ai, tino hoho nui tērā.
Ei.
Yep.
I went to a tangi recently and it was in Ngāti Pūkeko. Ngāti Pūkeko are a part of Ngāti Awa, but they have their own mana. Kei te poroporo tēnei iwi a Ngāti Pūkeko. E ni haere au ki te tangihanga o Joe Mason.
Ai.
Te korua kamate nei tēnei tau. Now I knew where the kōrero started and finished based on my experiences in Mātātua and Ngāti Awa and Tūhoi are very close. And Pūkeko have very, very strong ties to te Mātātua, but Ngāti Awa, Tūhoi and also Te Arawa. And they've also got a strong tie to Parehauraki. So I knew, I thought, yep. Anyway, ka puta mai tētahi tangata, and he said what he told the manuhiri was contrary to what I knew was right.
Oh.
Yes. And I thought, okay, well, then I questioned, I thought, well, anei te tangata whenua, e tohu nei a mātou. They're giving us directions, say, well, me whakarongo. Anyway, so ka whakaeke mātou i te marae, and we went to sit, and it was myself and te toka whakaia te mara, and because he was tūhoi, Mātātua, and he had come from Ruatahuna, and we were in a big ope, but there was only 2 speakers, māua ko te toka. And we decided he would speak first because he was Mātātua, and he would be the paiarahi, and I would be the last speaker, the second speaker, and I would put the koha down from the ope. And we went on and we were looking at one another too. And I took his lead.
Ai.
Like we were looking at one another that this guy had told us, you sit there and we start there. Anyway, ka whakaeke mātou. Then we went to sit. Now this is i mōhio te pai. Straight away they knew, by the way, that when they saw Te Toka and myself, and he sat at one end and I sat at the other end, they knew, based on the tikanga of the paiarahi, that he was going to be the opening speaker. And this is neat.
Yeah.
And then the pai said, they knew we didn't have to say who was starting, who was finishing. The pai said, hey, ka timata ngā kōrero ki kona? Ka tutuki ki kona.
Wow. 55% e te iwi, communication, body language.
Yeah. Yep. And so we swapped places.
Kia ora.
And we looked at each other. So that was a hapa, but it was caught. We hadn't started the whaikōrero yet.
Okay.
So what could have happened, we could have sat, and then if the paipai hadn't told us, Te Toka would have stood up, and he would have been the last speaker where he was sitting.
Wow.
Right.
Then he would have initiated the whati, not the hapa.
Yes. And I had the koha.
You wouldn't have got a chance to put it down.
Well, this is what I've seen. Koenei anō te mōhio o te pūkōrero. I've seen this happen, where the seating arrangement pēnei is exactly the same as this. And the person who got up was in the place of the last speaker, but they hadn't been told.
Yeah.
And he pūmau te iwi kāinga. So the person that had the koha, they just went and put the koha on the ground during the waiata.
Yeah.
Oh.
How the situation occurred to me was that their mana was not slighted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Koina tētai atu wāhanga o te whaikōrero.
Pai.
I've been at a really big tangi and I've seen a similar situation happen where, so they started the kōrero at one end and there were like so many people that wanted to speak, honestly, like over 10. It was going down the row, but then someone towards the end got up and cut off a whole lot of people that were wanting to speak next. The hau kāinga knew what had happened. So someone from that side stood up and said, we don't usually do this here, but because we know that there are so many people on that side who want to speak still, they allowed it to go back up the line so those people could still stand.
Yeah.
Well, they're lucky.
Yeah.
Ia i aroha atu te tangata whenua.
Yeah. Ki ngā manuhiri tūārangi.
I tētahi tangihanga i nakua nei i ngā marama nei, ko kihi ngātai. And that exact thing happened.
Yeah.
So we had about 15 speakers that day.
Yeah.
And it was cold, it was windy. And we only got halfway through and people were jumping in between. So the pai was filling up, which was cool.
Yeah.
And there was one speaker before me and somebody came out from the back.
Yeah.
Nā ka kōrero ia. And apologised and then left. And then someone from his iwi, it was actually the speaker from his iwi, and he was very whakamā that had happened.
Yeah.
And that rectified the hapa.
So what do you mean he got up and left? Like actually left?
Yeah, I don't think he stayed for the duration of the tangihanga. And, you know, this is how things are these days. You know, I recall many occasions where people have come to tangihanga and they've got a flight to catch.
Yeah.
So they don't stay for that whakaeke.
Wow.
It gets to a particular time and I've seen like 5 people leave the pai.
That's a hapa. You know, there's things that you can look at and go, well, you shouldn't have sat there if you knew that your time was limited and, you know, you could see the number. And that's that hui before the hui, praone outside there. You know, te hui, ke wahui te kēti, ke whakarite ai tō pai. I was reminded of one in Tauranga, and one of the kaupapa at the end here apologised, gave his sincerities after his kōrero, and he said, I'm taking leave from here because he take anō tāna i tāmaki, te hohipere, mate anō tōna. Nō reira, i wehe atu i reire, mutu kawana i tāna waiata, i wehe rātou i te marae. Engari, i whakaite te pai. These were certain circumstances in which he explained, like, oh, yeah, it was big take, but he had to take his leave after his kōrero.
So those are some hapa that can come up in whaikōrero, and even, you know, those examples, even before the whaikōrero starts, some of those.
Aye.
You're not even in the whaikōrero.
Yeah.
So I've also seen multiple people from the manuhiri side put down koha. Is that okay, or should it be one person to wrap it up at the end?
He rereke i a iwi. Me ko tainui katoa, then there's one koha.
Okay.
But I have seen it koro neihana where iwi want to put their own koha down. But generally, roto i a tainui, there will be one koha. And that symbolises also the ending of the kōrero.
Yep. Kia ora.
Yeah.
And kua mate katoa e nei koroua e nari nā koroua o mua,
Aye.
ka reaha ki a rātou te aukati i ngā kōrero i muri tonu mai te koha. So now, like the example you gave, Erica, about the tangata whenua being compassionate to the manuhiri, I know, and I won't even say the old days, not that long, maybe, you know, 20, 30 years ago, a lot of our koroua, once their koha was put down, they would have said, well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Komutu. Finito.
Haramai.
Yeah.
I've seen them. Haramai. Yep.
Yeah.
Komatu.
My experiences with ngai tūhoi is that they're the same. Usually the last person to speak puts the koha down.
Yeah.
But again, they make reservations for those that put their koha down, and they you know, you get a feel that kare anō nā kōrero kia tutuki.
Yeah.
Hoi anō, hea ia te utu i ēnei rā mō ngā hapa me ngā whati, hea hoki ngā utu i ngā wao mua. What's the price of these mistakes?
Well, kei te he tino pai tēnā pātai, because how we conceptualise these hapa and whati and the utu is based on te ao hou.
Aye.
And it's hard to enforce utu a lot of the time.
Aye.
Like te aroha. So aroha comes in. Ko te mea nui, ko te aroha.
Aye, ko te manaki, te manuhiri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The utu would be that the person that jumped line would be retributed
Aye.
by the manuhiri side
True.
more than ever, because they haven't had a chance to kōrero.
Yeah.
Aye.
So koina tētai utu, ko te whiu o te kōrero.
Aye.
I pēnei tia ko te tangihanga, and it was the other way around. It was ko te tangihanga tēnei o te hoa tauaroha, te hoa o te wharehuia.
Aye.
Oh.
And it was tūhoi, and tūhoi, for whatever reason, ta tangata whenua, ko te koroua ko āhua ware. And kareo e kōrero ko ai tēnei koroua. But he wrapped the kōrero up, and tūhoi weren't finished.
Aye.
Oh.
They still had the koha.
Oh.
Now, te tikanga a tūhoi, kāre a tūhoi e manawa wera i roto i te whare.
Oh, yeah.
They do not haka in the whare. Ka pai, and taku mōhio he pērā te ao Māori i ngā wā mua. Ka ue haka manawa wera nei i roto i te whare nui. Now, they had this huge koha. Ne? And I could see that the last speaker was saddened. And, well, I tell you, when tangata whenua were wrapping the kōrero up and saying kua pai, and tūhoi saw that they didn't have an opportunity for their last speaker, well, it was their speaker and he was their only speaker. Koene te pai o tūhoi.
Ai.
Ka te nui taku mihi kia tūhoi i te rānei. Usually when they go to a hui, ko tahi te kai kōrero, maybe two,
Ai.
you'll be lucky. But te nui ngā ka puta ana ngai tūhoi, ko tahi te kai kōrero.
Yeah.
And that had been taken away from them. So e tū nā kuia ki te manawa wera.
Wow.
Wow.
I roto i te whare
That would
nui.
have been a sight to see.
Oh, it was, you know, and you could see they were angry.
Yeah.
Well, the poor koroua who had finished the kōrero, he was trying to gauge, well, what's happened? Because he didn't see what had happened.
Oh.
You know, i te mea kua ware.
Ai.
Hoi anō i whakatikahia e te haukainga i tū i whakapāha, i tuku i ki atu kāo, kaya koutou ngai tūhoi, you have the floor, you know, tēnā koutou. The cool thing was, you know, and e whakaaro anau ki a Timoti, it's nothing like a tangihanga with a bit of drama.
Yeah, ai.
Yeah, and then, you know, those things are talked about for years and years and years.
Yeah. Kind of adds to the legacy of that person
Yeah.
because, you know, if that drama went on at their tangi, they must have been a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see too the differences of tikanga. So i roto i a te arawa, the last night, a te poroporo aki o te pōtakapau, a pōwhakamutinga, they have a round of poroporo aki. And it's all the pū kōrero first, ngā tāne. And they start in the whare nui, their pai is down towards the back of the whare. Looking to the back of the whare, they start on the right. They go down their pai, then it goes around the pai manuhiri. And then it goes back. And usually, someone from te whānau pani is the last speaker.
Oh, kia ora.
They wrap up the kōrero before it opens up to ngahau. Now, because Wharehuia was the koia te pauwaru, he was, you know, ko tana hoa tēnei takoto nei. Te arawa, Ngāti Whakauē felt that Wharehuia should be the last speaker. He was the, you know.
Ai.
Engari, ko te tikanga tūhoi kāo.
Kāo, ka noho wahangu tāne re.
Yeah, ka noho wahangu. So there was a bit of misunderstanding, but yeah, it had to be a bit of a renegotiation and I riro mā pou e kōrero. But a couple of the karaua, they were quite adamant that Wharehuia should be the person that closes the poroporo aki or whaikōrero section off of the night anyway. But no, ka tūa pou me te whakatakoto ia. Anei ngā tika ngā tūhoi, tarara ko Wharehuia kei te wahangu.
Ka pai.
Ka pai, hei ko te whakapapa kei wainga nui a rāua e tūtonu ai a Wharehuia, hei?
Yeah.
Pai tērā.
Yeah.
And just quickly, as we edge towards the end of our kōrero, I've also...
Oh, we're going to have to do a whati number 3.
We're in a whati. There's too much whati.
Hapa and whati.
Yeah. But to talk about body language, I've seen and been told about this as well. There's some brothers and, you know, there's tuakana teina status amongst, and no waima I nei tangata. And one brother was reminded of his teina status.
Oh.
And this is in the whare. And so he got up and he walked over and sat at the feet of his tuakana. And this is, you know, he mana nui tō tēnei tangata. But that was his gesture of accepting or acknowledging what he was being told. But and I was like, wow. And you know, you're these young fellas and you just sort of like, oh, don't look at them, don't look, you know, he whakamā. But yeah, that was a big, I remember that gesture.
Some takeaways for you e te iwi e whakarongo mai nei. Your mind might be blowing at the moment or...
Yeah, send us your pātai.
You need to be mindful, koutou mā e whaikōrero nei. Be mindful as a manuhiri and a tangata whenua that there are tikanga on both sides.
True.
If you have a flight to catch, you know, that's a choice you've made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoa tu tō whakaaro ki te kōpaki.
It's not inherently wrong or bad.
Aye.
It's just, you should probably stay for the whole whakaeke.
Or maybe not be a speaker.
Yeah.
What's going to be remembered, I think, your whaikōrero or you leaving 2 hours or an hour before your ope finishes. on the marae.
Or leaving a hole in the whaikōrero, because that's what it is, eh?
Yeah. Ko etahi o koe te whakarongo mai nei he pūkōrero, me whakaro e nei āhuatanga. Hea tātou e mahi nei.
Ai.
Me ki au tēnā whakatutukihia a tātou tikanga kia tika ai. Kia tika ai, he wā ka takahia te tikanga e ora i te tikanga. Ai engari, kai te neke rawa, ngā goalposts, i runga i o tātou marae, no reira me ata whakaro. So, yeah, to be mindful e te iwi. And before you go into a marae, always, and we've said this a lot of times, check hea nā tikanga o te marae. What is the tikanga in terms of the paipai? Who sits where?
Yeah, rangahau, yeah. Hei tāpiri atu ki e nā kōrero a praone, kia tātou te hunga tahi anō, ka timata ki te ako, ki te hehe rānei ki ngā momo wheako, kau e haere poka no ki marae whakaro ai, ko te aroha, kei konei mo te aroha, koi rongo koe i te whakawhiu, mena ka tū no koe nā te mea, tahi anō, e he anō ki te tū, ki te kōrero, mo te kōrero nahe. Because you're at this, maybe a sort of euphoric state or an enthusiastic state of te reo and doing whaikōrero that you want to go and do it, just be mindful that the reason why you're there and not to expect that they're gonna receive you well just because you're speaking te reo or doing it properly. Kei reira tonu te tikanga, no reira me whakaro nui anō hoki tātou mo ki aua wheako.
Ana. And just to close out on that, I saw a really good example of this person of standing who couldn't stay for the duration of our whakaeke. And we went on, they went up to the tūpapaku, they cried in front of the whānau pani, the whānau pani acknowledged them, they saw them, they cried their tangi to the tūpapaku and then left.
Kia ora.
And had given their koha to somebody. So, whakaarotia, there is a way.
Yep.
We're not, we will be doing another Hapa and Whati.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about Hapa and Whati in Karakia,
Ai.
particularly the opening of whare.
Kia ora.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool.
These little drama ones, they're cool.
Oh, yes. Yes. So, koina e te iwi. Hoi anō kia huri nai nei ki tā tātou waiata.
Ko tā tātou waiata I tēnei wiki e te iwi, ko pūrere hua, he mea whakahau, e tere moana Rapley, I runga e noi, te kohinga waiata.
Oh, cool.
O he rangi pai huarere, the tribute to the late Dr. Hedeni Melbourne. I love these songs.
Timeless classics.
Timeless classics. Classics.
Clackers.
Tēnā kupu, tēnā.
Tēnā kupu, tēnā.
Pūrere hua, butterfly, or in Italian, farfalla.
Oh!
Hey,
Farfalla.
Farfalla.
That's how my Ngāti Mahanga mates say where they come from in their flash houses. Where you from? Whatawhara. Tēnā koutou ako ho Ngāti Mahanga.
Hoi anō e te iwi koe nā te waiata katika tāu e hoa. You know, it's a timeless waiata. And I love the kupu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's me too. You learn more and more. You go back to these songs that you thought were just kids' songs and you're like, oh, man.
Ana, koina. But e te iwi, don't be a farfalla, a pūrere hua in terms of tikanga, you know,
Oh,
just
no, yes.
butterflying
Don't
around.
float
and-
around.
So sing the waiata, a engari, a tātai tikanga ki au.
Kia tika.
Ka pai.
Hoi no, e mihi ana ki a tātou e te iwi, o tira e hoa mā, tēnā tātou.
Tēnā koe, tēnā tātou.
Tēnā tātou e mahi nei e mahi mā te ipurangi.
Ai,
Ai.
koutou ngā kaiako.
Yes, tātou katoa,
Yeah.
tātou katoa. But I am looking forward to the day when we will be back in studio. Hoi no, I am grateful that we have this opportunity to still be able to share kōrero, wānanga, mātauranga with you all through Taringa. That is why Taringa was set up
Kia ora.
in the first place, and that is the vision that Taringa was founded on. And a mātai mihi e rere nei kia koutou, me kore ake koutou e tūnei a Taringa.
Kia ora, tūnei.
Kōrera, e mihi ana kia koutou, huri noa, tēnā koutou, hei kona mai rā.
Hei kona mai rā.
Hei kona!
Bit whakaronga pi kari kari. Gather up close everybody buddy. Taringa, taringa, taringa. Yeah, tahuri mai ki au. Whakarongo ki te tangi a te kori mako. Kōrero flowing at the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds. Kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira. Whakarongo pi kari kari mai. Hare hare mai, o Taringa hare hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody. Gather up close everybody. Kani kani move that body. Kani kani move that body.
Taringa, he mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa. Ā, nā te māngai pāho me irirangi te motu I tautoko. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe, or follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Taringa, whakarongo mai.